Outline. Outline.
Doon sa input dito.
Wala ka ng battery pare.
Outline.
Sa broadband.
Doon sa input dito.
Ryan, monitor ka broadband. Sa broadband. Pakita mo yung live. Ryan, monitor ka broadband. We're already live. Sa broadband. Pakita mo yung live. Ryan, monitor ka broadband. We're already live.
Kawawa naman yung Destiny.
Excuse me, J5 lang.
Ito pala. Ito pala. Si Seth. Si Seth. Ito pala. Ganun.
Yan.
Balik sa Si Seth. Si Seth.
Ali.
Bakit balik sa?
Taas mo pa konti.
Ayun.
Yan.
Balik sa. Balik sa.
Yan, perfect.
Ayun. Bakit balik sa?
Taas mo pa konti.
Yung audio.
Yan, perfect. Headphones. Yan, may audio tayo.
Yung swan. It so sister.
Ay, hindi ako pwede kasi.
Hindi dito. Para malaman
Kasi
natin
nakalagin ako eh.
yung sa feed. Pwede mo. Multiple.
Eh, kaso baka magloko eh. I don't wanna risk it.
Sa Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Huwag incognito ka dyan. Naka-incognito ka. Ayun, pwede yun. Pwede sa cellphone nga, pwede sabay.
Ayan yan.
Live na ba tayo?
Ba't hindi?
Are we live?
Lag tayo ng mga 20 seconds.
Ito lang ako sir. Lagi ka.
15 to 20
Para-
seconds lag.
Sa akin.
Pasarapin to. Alright.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. It's 7:02 in the evening, and we are coming to you live from the national headquarters of the United Architects of the Philippines. Particularly, we are in the National President's office, as you can see here. This is NP Gimo's office. We're using his conference room for this live broadcast via Facebook Live. And this is the official UAP podcast brought to you by the Media and Public Relations Committee of the UAP, and I am your anchor, your host, and your chair of the MPR committee. And with me is none other than the chair of the CPD committee, Architect Albert Dumlao. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to all architects out there.
All right. With us is also a deputy of the MPR group, Architect Jose De Leon, who's manning the questions of the video feed. So later on, or just keep your questions coming in. We will be discussing your questions later. Sir Jose, please take note of these questions. If you have anything you'd like to say, anything you'd like to ask, we'll do our best to answer all of these questions. And if we can't answer them, we'll try to find someone who can. All right? And also, if you just want to chime in and say hi to someone, say hi. If you want us to say hi to you, we can do that as well. Do we have material for fan signs yet? Okay, may humihingi ng fan sign eh. So,
Yung
mamaya,
whiteboard.
may whiteboard ba tayo dyan?
Ayan.
Kung may whiteboard tayo dyan, mag-fan sign tayo mamaya. Okay? So, again, we are live here at the UAP HQ. If along Scout Rallios in Quezon City, if If you guys want to come over and say hi, drop by, bring us food, bring us beer, we would be
Grateful.
very, 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 very appreciative of that. We would be very, very grateful. And today, for the very first, I guess we can say this is the pilot episode of the podcast. Am I right?
Yes, we're in the National President's Office.
That's right. So, no better place to do an official podcast
Yeah.
other than NP's office. For today's show or for today's podcast, we will be discussing certain topics. We've outlined the topic for you guys. Sir Albert, what's on the menu for today?
Um, our menu for today. First is the policy on the UAP official Facebook forum.
Okay, policies, guidelines on the UAP official Facebook forum.
Yes, and after that, we'll try to discuss at some length the illegal practice of architecture and what UAP is doing about it.
All right, RA 9266,
Yes.
my favorite number, 9,266.
And we hope to have an interview with awards chairman,
Is she
architect
here?
Becca Reliosa. Yes, she's somewhere.
The official tita of UAP, Tita Boss Becca.
And then we'll hope to wrap it up with CPD.
Ooh, the hottest topic.
Yeah.
The hottest topic in the nation today, and CPD or the Continuing Professional Development Law is something that not only architects are facing at the moment. It's something that all professionals accredited with the PRC is facing. And I believe, am I right in saying that that UAP is spearheading the efforts for CPD, or maybe we're the ones who are at the
Forefront
we're at the forefront.
of complying,
Complying, okay.
with the PRC, and other professions are following our lead in terms of providing CPD to their members.
All right, that sounds all right. Okay, so let's start with our first topic, sir. What do we have?
We'll talk first about the guidelines of the forum. So, as MPR chair, maybe you can start off.
Okay, the guy. So I was gonna bring the camera to focus the camera on you, but it seems I'll be the first to talk. All right. So as NPR chair of the official Facebook forum, I am officially one of the administrators of this page, and I'm asking you all. How many members do we have now? About 7,000.
7,000, yeah.
All right. I'm asking all 7,000 members of this page to please act accordingly. We have to act professionally. And when we say acting professionally, that entails how we act, basically how we do it in the streets, how we talk to clients, how we talk to our fellow professionals, and everything that's involved with that. All right. So that means, to begin with, using your original name. I mean, you have to have conviction when you post something online, and you have to have a sense of responsibility of whatever it is you're posting. And how will we know, or how can you show that sense of responsibility if, first and foremost, you're not using your
Real name.
If
Yeah.
you're using a moniker, if you're using an alias or something, right? Also, I guess there are certain mind you, these guidelines were not written by us. These were written into a board resolution, I think in 2015. Am I correct?
Yes, 2 years ago.
All right. So under NP Beth's term,
Yeah.
right, when the NPR was created and when the forum was created. So we're asking everyone to please limit your posts to 3 posts a day. You can comment, you can reply everywhere. That's fine. That's not a problem. But limit your posts to 3 posts a day. The reason behind that is when you I wouldn't say flood, but when you have more than 3 posts per day, you tend to block off the other people who have maybe 1 post or something.
Yeah.
So the importance is everyone is heard.
Mhm.
Right? We want everyone to be heard. We want all topics to be discussed in the forum. And if you're posting more than 3 times a day, well, you're practically flooding the page.
That's spamming already.
That's considered spamming already. And as admins, naturally we will be warning you, but also we will be asking you politely, of course, if you could stop or refrain from doing such things.
Yeah.
All right. What else? What other guidelines do we have? There's a bunch more, but maybe again.
Of course, in general, keeping the discussion as professionally as possible. So please, if we can refrain from name calling, things like that. No?
Okay, refrain from name calling.
Or going to the personal level in terms of discussing issues.
Yes,
no?
let's
So,
keep it. Let's
yeah.
keep it.
Let's keep it professional because the forum was created for professional discourse. So it shouldn't be more anything else than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So let's have intelligent conversations. Let's have good discussions, fair discussions. Maybe let's also not insinuate certain things.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to say something, say it directly. I mean, there's no room for chismes or going behind someone's back on the forum. I mean, keep in mind this forum was created for all of us and for the betterment of all of us to have a healthy discussion among all of us in the UAP.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm sure naturally a lot of people will have different opinions on certain things.
Yes, and we respect that. No?
Naturally.
We have we don't have want to have a homogeneous take on things, and we want to get as many ideas in as possible. And also, I'd like to stress that we're not censoring anyone or
Correct.
any group.
We have not censored anyone. Now, of course, we have deleted several posts, particularly before we stepped in as admins of the page.
Mm-hmm.
Our forum had a lot of advertisements from several members.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of people who were selling things, and that's part of the reason why we screen the members who try to get into the forum as well. Simply because we want to keep the forum as should I say architecturally pure as possible, meaning
Uh-huh.
UAP pure. We're trying to have only UAP members are allowed in the forum, and that's why for a lot of you who are new members to the forum, we have set certain questions, particularly your PRC number, your UAP chapter, and your full name, of course. And also, if you are using a moniker, we ask you to change your moniker to your real name again, so that you may be identified for the purpose of having responsibility.
And of course, to confirm if you are really an architect.
That's correct.
That's a basic thing about this because this forum is for UAP members and for architects as well.
You'd be surprised, our dear members, that on a daily basis we get up to about 50, even to 100 requests to join the page per day, and not all of these people are architects. I mean, there are a lot of architects there too, but not all of them are UAP members. You'd be surprised at the amount of architects coming from India and Africa who are trying to join our forum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's to our understanding that these, I don't want to accuse them, or I don't want to generalize, but a lot of from what I've noticed and from my scrutiny of their Facebook profiles, these architects from other countries want to join our group simply because they want to sell rendering services,
Mm-hmm.
drafting services of similar things that they can do online, and that's why we screen them.
Yeah.
Right. So we hope no one takes offense with regards to the screening process. This is for our own protection as well.
Yeah.
And again, like I said earlier, we're trying to maintain that only UAP members are accepted into the forum simply because we are discussing UAP things.
Okay.
All right. So again, If you're just tuning in now, this is the official podcast, the pilot episode of the official podcast of the United Architects of the Philippines, and we're coming to you via Facebook Live, and we're doing this live from the national headquarters along Scout Ralios, right here in the national president's office. But he's not here. But that's his name, and this is our logo.
He'll be here in a few days.
Where is our national president, by the way?
I think that Miss Jen, where is NP? Mga inductions, I think.
Oh, that's right, because it
It's
is still
induction
induction season.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of seasons, we are reminding everyone to please update your chapter dues.
Yes. When is the deadline?
The-
September 30 for our annual dues, and for chapter assessment fees, August 31.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, your chapter assessment fees differ for every chapter, but our national dues, we are paying 600 pesos.
No, chapter assessment is 1.5 per chapter.
Chapter?
Yeah.
No, across the board. No, it's
No,
at the
what we
discretion
pay
of-
to the national as a chapter fee.
Ah, okay, that's right. Okay,
So
my
your
mistake.
when you pay the 1.5 per chapter, then your chapter is also in good standing.
That's right.
That is
Okay.
separate from your members being in good standing.
That's right. That's right. Okay, and for the national dues for individual members, or rather for all the members, it's 600 pesos per member. Just to remind everyone to keep yourselves updated. There was a question, I believe, in the forum about when the membership, or rather when the, what do you call it? When the fiscal year ends and
Yeah.
when we have to start paying and all the other questions related to that. I believe our member, should I say membership, or our, what do we call it? Registration to the IAPOA.
No, that's a membership, annual membership fee
Okay,
Yeah.
our annual membership fee expires
on June 30.
on June 30 every year.
Yeah,
And come July 1,
we need to.
we need to start paying
Yeah.
our dues already. And the deadline to be considered in
In
good
good
standing is September 30th. However, after September 30, will that be considered late?
Yes, that's late payment already.
Alright.
And
Pero yung IAPOA certificate, pwede siya na September. Kung gagamitin siya.
From previous.
From previous fiscal year.
Ah,
Is
okay.
that so?
So the IAPOA.
But you can pay in advance.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, especially for those.
Yes, there was a
members-
question in the forum regarding OFW members who.
who come home like once a year.
Yes. So, for example, they're here on May, and they
They have to leave like in June
Yes.
or July.
so they can pay in advance for their membership that will cover July to June the next year.
All right, so
Yeah.
you heard it
And
here.
Franco of membership will accept those advance payments.
Okay, so Sir Franco Santia will
Yes.
will be handling that in terms of membership. All right, so what else do we have on the table, sir?
Other questions for that? Illegal practice of architecture.
Illegal practice.
Yes.
This is going to be a lengthy topic.
We'll try to cover it in future sessions.
But we can have that too.
Yeah.
Again, if you have any questions, feel free. Just ask questions on the right hand side of our. Tama ba? Baliktad. Hip hop ako eh. Ganyan talaga ako mag-sombrero. Tagilid.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. Sorry.
There's a post in our forum regarding the MOA. Let me just check. The MOA between the Philippine Councilors League and the UAP.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So wait. was posted by Miss Lalane, if I'm not mistaken. Architect Lalane. Yeah, so basically what this MOA entails is that the Philippine Councilors League, the Philippine Councilors League, uh, in cooperation with the UAP, will implement or will endorse implementation of RA 9266 across the whole the whole country.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we say Philippine Counselors League. For those who are not in the know, that's the group of all the counselors of the Philippines.
Yes.
All of those guys, all of those people we elect at the LGU level, and I guess that's something new to the UAP. Am I correct? I mean, that's the first. It's the first time we're addressing the counselors instead of just the mayors or the congressmen or the governors. Am I right? Or
Yes. In the capacity of one whole collegial body, which is the PCL. Before we were just talking to individual mayors, individual governors. Now we're talking to all those councilors from the different cities and municipalities of the Philippines, and we are trying to get their assistance in
Mhm.
terms of full implementation of RA 9266.
well, why is that, sir? I mean, if you don't mind my asking, naturally the mayor is the leader of a town, of a city,
Yes.
of a municipality. The governor is the leader of the province. Okay,
Yeah.
why are we addressing the councilors instead? I mean, what gives them, what makes them a better option rather than the mayors?
Because with the councilors, they have the power to come up with municipal and city ordinances, and
Okay.
those ordinances can embody or can dictate, for example, the creation of the office of the city or municipal architect.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the implementation of the architectural permit, which in our case, for example, in our case in Malolo City, we have now an approved ordinance for ancillary permit. So ancillary permit, that includes first and foremost the architectural permit, but
Okay.
it also includes other permits covering the different design fields like
Engineering,
structural engineering. You have, of course, electrical.
our allied services,
Yes,
basically.
basically our allied services. And also the environmental planning permit.
Okay. MEPS plus interior
Yeah,
and environmental planning.
yeah.
What about
So
landscape?
I think it has also.
Okay.
So what it says is the idea is for a particular project, it will different projects will have minimum permits that will be required depending on the complexity and depending on the scale of that project.
So in a way, in our case, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't mean to carry our own weight in terms of telling our viewers
Mhm.
of what we've done, but in essence, what happened in Malolo City wasn't just to comply to RA 9266. In fact, because we have multiple permits that are going to be provided,
Mhm.
we're complying with the interior design law. We're
Yes.
complying with the landscape, with our basically our colleagues in the industry.
Yes, and it sends a message to the colleagues, our colleagues in the different design fields,
That's right.
that it's not we are asserting our
Right.
right to practice, but not necessarily impinging on theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So because we recognize that it is a whole industry composed of different design professions, and we need them as much as they need us.
That's
So
right.
that's what we want to show in that ancillary permit.
I do
ordinance.
remember one case though. I mean, in the city of Valenzuela,
Uh-huh.
in Valenzuela, where the building official is my batchmate in UST, architect
Edison.
Edison Ching
Yeah.
Padilla. Okay, he's my batchmate in UST, and I remember that he wrote a letter to the board of was it PRC or DILG or DPWH. I'm sorry.
Mm.
He wrote a letter to DPWH because From my understanding, the city of Valenzuela is one of those cities which has already complied with RA 9266.
Uh-huh.
Okay, they have an architectural permit that is separate from the structural engineering permit or
Mhm.
the civil engineering permit. Now they had a certain issue when in one of the malls, I think it was an SM Mall or Robinsons, when one of the stores in the mall hired an interior designer, a professional
Mhm.
interior designer, a licensed professional interior designer, instead of an architect. When the interior designer tried to have a permit signed by the building official,
Mhm.
it raised an issue with our dear friend,
Mhm.
our building official, architect Edison, because as an interior designer, there was no room in the permits for them.
Yeah.
It just says architect for the design and
Mhm.
not interior designer
Okay.
because there's no interior design permit yet, and I think that's one of the things
Yes.
that
That's what
um,
we address in Malolo City.
yes,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that we addressed in Malolo City. Perhaps
And hopefully we again not to carry our own uh,
wait,
weight, um,
our own bangko.
so to speak. No? We hope that this will inspire other chapters to do the same, and we admit that it took a long time. No, it's not.
Yes.
It wasn't an overnight thing, and it took also meaningful collaboration with our LGUs, and we would like to thank our partners in the LGU, of course, led by Mayor
Christian.
Christian, Vice Mayor Bebong, and of course the author, Councilor Rico,
Hmm.
uh, for believing in that cause. No? So hopefully, again, we will spearhead
Efforts.
efforts in our district,
Primarily Bulacan. Yeah.
primarily Bulacan, and we will also help our colleagues from
Nueva Ecija.
Cabanatuan, Nueva Ecija Cabanatuan chapter, led by the efforts of architect PB, our
Former district
former
director.
district director,
Past district director, rather.
yeah, PB Garcia, who happens to be a councilor of the city of Cabanatuan. So
Yep.
maybe that is a sure thing already.
Exactly. Well, I remember him saying when he was doing his valedictory speech at our district
Yes.
induction that um, he was really going to spearhead that in Nueva Ecija,
Mm-hmm.
in not just in Cabanatuan but in the province of Nueva Ecija, and he was asking for our documents if he could copy them and
Or make it as a reference.
a reference, make
Yep.
it a reference for his area,
Yeah.
for his province, and naturally, we would be more than happy to do that.
Yes, actually, we already sent those.
Oh, we have, we have.
Yes, yes.
All right, great. And I
Last week.
and I think also I saw in the forums that we have. Am I right? Pangasinan is trying to,
Some
or is it La Union? I'm not sure.
some municipalities in Pangasinan already have
Oh, okay.
the architectural permit, and they're making efforts to have the whole province of Pangasinan be compliant with RA 9266.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the key. If you have, I'm sure a lot of you, a lot of our architects out there, have friends in politics. I mean, after all, we are part of nation building.
Yeah.
So we have to have friends in the LGU. We have to have friends in among our public leaders, and
They are our partners in
they
it.
are our partners in development and progress, and naturally we can't have these laws passed without their help. We're lucky in Bulacan because in the city of Malolos because our councilor Rico Capule is actually an architecture graduate.
Graduate, yeah.
So, but he didn't take the board exams and he chose
Yet.
a different path.
Yet.
Yet. We'll see. We have
We'll
yet
be
to see
happy
that.
to welcome him
Yes,
as a colleague.
but maybe in Malolos, he's practically a member of UAP
Yes.
in terms of Malolos. Of course,
Maybe we can make him an
an
honorary
honorary member. Let's see.
Let's see what are
Let's look at the legalities
Yes.
for that, and we'll try to nominate him to be an honorary member
of Baraswin and Malrep.
Exactly. Yeah. Issues na naman yan.
We have a message here from Architect Hill Hapitana, our Executive Director for External and Government Affairs.
Yep, idol.
Yes,
Mr. Richard Gere himself.
he wants everybody to know of our schedule for the World Architecture Day, which is October 2, 2017. So, our chapters out there, you can prepare or plan for activities on that day so we can promote our profession in our respective communities and localities.
So that's October 2.
October 2, yes. So, wala pa yung theme dito. So, we'll try to get the theme and then we will post it in our forum.
Okay. All right. Also, I think we do have a lot of activities coming in October, particularly the Joint Area Assembly. Okay.
Yes.
What's the name of
Pagpupulong.
pagpupulong? Mahirap sa Tagalog, maraming pu. Okay. Pagpupulong. Meeting for short. Meeting in English, pagpupulong in Tagalog, pagpupulong 2017 happens on October 20 and 21 with
Yes.
Day Zero happening October 19. So this will be held in Fort Ilocanja. Am I correct?
Ilocos Norte.
Ilocos Norte.
So we will have further
I-
details on that.
Yes, we will give you more details on that. Perhaps we can invite our Joint Area Assembly Director for maybe next week, our next podcast.
We hope to catch him in one of their meetings.
Okay.
If our schedule permits, yeah.
And we were
Arnie Idos.
Architect Arnie Idos of which chapter? Laguna? What
Laguna
in
chapter?
Not sure. Somewhere in Laguna.
B4. District B4.
District B4.
Yes.
There you go. So,
Sorry.
other than that, there are other things happening in October. I was just told that a few days ago that our CPD seminar has been approved for October 7. This is all the way in Bulacan, of course. If you guys are free, if you want to join us, we'll be having 4 credit units available.
Self-promotion. That is
Well, that's my chapter, and we'll be opening it to the public, of course, to non-members of Baraswain chapter. But yeah, that's what's happening in October for now, at least. Well, we'll be giving you more announcements later on. Well, it's
Greetings muna tayo.
greetings. All right, okay.
Hi to Roel Reyes. He's watching right now. Of Rizal Taytay. Past President.
Good evening,
Sorry,
sir.
Rizal East.
That's
chapter.
right. Good evening, Architect Roel.
Of course, our co-member in the CPD Committee and the Awards Committee, Richard Franco.
Good evening, Chard. Saan ka na?
Architect Louis Tiamzon is also watching. And Architect Asidin Arabain of
Architect Asidin, good evening.
of
Good evening
KSA Riyadh.
po. Yep.
And also, napansin natin kanina, Architect, past National President Architect Sunny Rosal.
Good evening, Sir
Hi
Sani.
po.
And if you're just tuned in now, you're watching the official podcast of the UAP. Ang sarap sabihin, sir. Masarap sabihin. Official na. This is the official podcast. We've been given the permission to use the word official. So meaning, tayo lang ang podcast talaga ng UAP. Wala
And
naman
this is
tayo.
ours, the whole of UAP. So if you have suggestions, if you want to guest in the
Mhm.
podcast, feel free.
And please help us in promoting this because we have big plans for this show, for this podcast. We're aiming to have this as one of the key information avenues of the UAP. In the future, we'll be having more guests. We'll be, of course, we're doing baby steps for now. This
Yes.
is just the first show. We're aiming to have a completely better show as the show progresses. We'll be having guests from our National Executive Committee, maybe having guests from the different committees of the UAP. Of course, any member who'd like to join us here is welcome. And we ask you to please promote this as well. You can share this video to your friends, to your chapter members, to your basically on your wall if you like. I mean, the one of the things that's beautiful about doing video is that once it reaches people, it promotes the UAP more.
Yeah.
It promotes us architects. Not just we're not going for we're not trying to have we're not looking for fame here, architect Dumlao and myself, but we're looking for promote the promotion of all architects in the Philippines and the UAP, of course.
And of course, we wish to engage our members.
That's right.
Yeah, so in discussion, in
That's
healthy professional discussion.
That is our primary objective for this podcast, is to reach all of you, our members of the UAP, young and old, new architect or old architect. We basically want to talk to you, and that's why if you have questions, just send them in. And if you want to say hi to people, if you want us to say hi to you, we can do that too. You can propose to your girlfriend. You can propose to your boyfriend. Send a poem. I don't know what else. All of that. Let's use this channel. Let's use this avenue to have more communication with each other. We have something there?
Yes. Again, Architect Hapitana wishes to remind us of the National Architecture Week,
National Architecture Week happening on
December
December
11.
11 to
To
17. Do we have a theme for that now? Not yet.
Wala pa yata.
Wala ba? Sir Hill, if you have a theme for that, just let us know, and we'll promote it here.
Yes.
And we invite all the other committees as well. If you have anything you'd like us to announce, if there's anything you'd like us to promote, just send them in. Get in touch with us. You can PM me through my private, through my Facebook account. I think should we open an MPR page? Not yet. Maybe. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, but for now, I mean,
We'll make use first initially of the forum because that's
Yes.
where we really are, no?
Mhm.
Your presence. We'd like to say also hi to Architect Justo Jazz
Architect
Santos,
Jazz.
our friend from KL chapter.
Binago na niya, hindi na siya nickname.
Hindi na siya Zuj.
Hindi na siya Zuj Sotnas. Diba? Sotnas.
Oh, may nagtatanong pa.
Architect Erwin Albis.
Oh,
Good evening, sir.
Klasiko yan. Sanda, where can we avail of the brown caps that we're wearing?
Oh, you can
Ay.
get these this is a much a newer cap, and yung kay Sir Albert is
This is a vintage.
vintage. Vintage. Okay, this is a newer cap. You can get this from the UAP Secretariat at the mezzanine of the UAP headquarters. I'm not sure if it's available online though. I think was it?
We have to talk to Architect Tebo of the Shops and Souvenir
Chairman.
Committee. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So there's a bunch more. You can get your official UAP stickers, car stickers,
Jackets.
jackets, emblems. You can also get
Bigyan ng jacket yan.
you can also get the latest updated versions of the building code,
RA 926.
RA 9266, the fire
Fire
code, accessibility law, and all that. And what else do they have there at the store? Polo shirt. May polo
Yes.
shirt then.
Dry fit.
Mm-hmm.
And honeycomb weeds.
Lalo na we have, diba? We have that
Sa Lazada
That-
daw meron.
badminton league ng architect. So
Yeah.
you can wear that with style.
ABF.
Represent UAP. Yeah. Ano sa Lazada? Sino nagsabi ng Lazada?
Si Jazz.
Architect Zuj. Wala
Oh,
tayo sa...
namatay daw yung signal. Sige, ulitin daw natin yung comments sa now, tsaka sa what.
Namatay.
Yung signal ni Architect Kapitana. So, World Architecture Day on October 2. Tama ba? 2017. And National Architecture Week, December 11 to 17, 2017. So, ayan, announcement from Architect Gil Hapitana, our Executive Director for
Are
External
we-
and Governmental Affairs.
Are we still live?
Yes.
We're still live.
Hi to John Louis Clavesillas, watching from Qatar, from Doha.
Good evening, sir. How is your side of the world?
Kamusta kayo dyan sa Qatar?
Di ba there was recently an issue ng parang na-stop ang workforce natin sa Qatar?
Yeah. So,
Diba?
kamustahin natin si Architect John. Give us an update. Ano yung
Can
mga
you,
situation natin?
Architect
Situation
John,
natin
can you
dyan?
please give us an update on the situation of our architects in Qatar, given the recent? I'm not sure what that issue is, but I just remember maybe a month ago or a few weeks ago that we had an issue with our overseas workers in Qatar. I think the Qatar government had to stop overseas
Yeah.
contracts or something like that. Please give us an update. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, and with the available technology, we're able to get updates from them on a regular basis. So,
That's right.
UAP is already global, so we're looking out for all members, not only in the Philippines but also abroad.
All right. Okay, so if you just tuned in, this is your official UAP podcast, brought to you by the Media and Public Relations Committee, headed by yours truly, Architect Pacoy Aniag. I'm your anchor and one of the hosts of the show. With me is Architect Albert Dumlao. We are both from Bulacan. I am from Baraswain chapter. Architect Dumlao is from Malolos Republica chapter and is also the chair of the special committee on CPD, which we'll be talking about in a little bit as well. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're inviting you to join us on Facebook, engage us on Facebook. If you have questions, if you have suggestions, violent reactions, or whatever, if you just simply want to say hi to anyone, please just write it down and put it in the comment section of this video, and we would be more than happy to address them on this live podcast. If you, what do we have? Anything? I got distracted there. Sorry.
Mga announcements pa rin.
Okay, some more
Uh,
announcements.
WAD, the World Architecture Day National Chairman is Architect Gabby Cascante.
Architect Gabby
And also
Cascante.
for National Architecture Week, the chairman is Architect Cesar Turla of, I believe, Quezon City chapter. So yan ang mga chairman natin for those two events later this year.
Mm-hmm.
So if your chapters have activities for those two events, please let them know so we can coordinate. We hope to have as many activities for these two events nationally and internationally.
Okay, binabati rin po natin si Architect Louis Tiamzon from
Yes.
UAP Bahrain chapter.
Mabuhay ang UAP daw. Mabuhay po
Mabuhay
tayo
ang
lahat.
UAP. Ang aming auditor
Si
sa
Ivy.
Baraswain chapter, si Architect Ivy Santos. Good evening,
Is watching.
Architect Ivy. Again, we're asking you to please share this live video to your friends, to our members. The wider reach that we get, the better. And nothing beats doing it live. That's why the more members we reach, the more questions we get.
Yeah.
And if there's anything you'd like to ask us, if we can't answer them ourselves, we will direct you to those people who can.
Yeah. So
Alright.
again, if you have questions or comments, write it in.
Exactly. This is, of course, the pilot episode. So, growing pains yan. Magkakaroon pa tayo ng, this show will get better with more shows. We'll be inviting committee members, committee chairpersons, National Executive Committee. We're hoping we can get the national president sometime, or maybe,
Of course, in the nearest possible future.
yes, our Secretary General, NEVP Benji, if he can be here sometime. Let's see. How long or how often will we be doing this, sir? What do you think? As often as we can, or as often as you'll have us?
Yes.
There's no definite schedule yet, but for now we're trying to do it maybe once every week. The schedule so far
Let's see.
is set for Thursday every week.
Yeah.
If not, maybe if we
I
run
think we
up,
can do it on a weekly basis.
can we? Baka maubusan tayo pag-usapan.
Marami tayong pinag-uusapan dapat eh.
Oo nga, marami dapat.
Yeah.
Marami tayong pressing issues
Yes.
sa ating
There's
organization.
always things to discuss.
That's right. Okay, so let's push for having it every week, every Thursday. I know that we earlier announced it to be set at 6 p.m. However, we were having technical difficulties when we got here. So forgive us. Again, it'll get better with more shows, with more equipment. This is basically a very DIY, do-it-yourself setup.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mark Zuckerberg for setting this up, this Facebook thing that we're doing right now. Right, so we have more. Hey,
Yung Architect Hapitana just wishes to inform us that the PCL and UAP MOA was initiated by our National and Civic Affairs Chairperson, Architect Rosario Ching.
the
Right.
city architect of Mandaluyong.
Yes, si Ma'am Ching.
The city of Mandaluyong.
Thank you for that, Ma'am Ching. So we hope to have the PCL UAP MOA benefit all of us architects across the country in terms of implementing RA 9266.
Yes, and definitely.
Dala ka daw ng gitara next time.
Basta kakanta ka, Sir Hill. Mahirap tumugtog
Jump down.
nung walang aawit. Kailangan na mapaawit natin si Architect Kapitanya dito.
Kailan ka ba nandito sa Manila, Architect Kapitana? Tatapatan ka namin.
Oo, tsaka pag
Maybe we can do remote.
Oo,
Tingnan
pwede
mo nga.
rin. Pwede rin. Actually, just for everyone's information, one of the things that we're trying to do here is that we'll, especially for the larger events like the coming Joint Area Assembly, what we will be doing is we'll be broadcasting live from that event, giving you updates on what's happening. NatCon, of course, will be doing the national convention. Basically, whatever event that we can
Yeah.
cover. Am I right, sir?
Yes. You mentioned NatCon. We just had an initial meeting with the NatCon 44 director, Cory Sebastian, and together with his programs
Chair.
chair for the
Programs
NatCon.
head, yes.
Yeah, Architect Karen Ang.
Okay.
So we discussed briefly on CPD offerings for NatCon 44. So watch out for that.
Okay. So, what else do we have? Any more people who chimed in? Who are
Ito, may
joining us?
question.
Architect Erwin Albis again.
For question niya, for the excess CPD points a member can accumulate in 3 years, is there a chance the UAP can consider that as buffer points for the next renewal?
We'll
for,
see.
for now, it's not allowed, but we will see. We will have direct contact with our CPD Council for Architecture. We'll see what we can do.
Mhm.
Um,
I think it's time. Let's talk about CPD.
Di ba awards muna?
Awards. Sige, awards. Suspense muna.
Oo nga.
Suspense.
Is Becca there already? Kung wala,
Nandiyan na ba si
tingnan natin
Becca?
kung si Becca. Pero kung wala pa, sige.
Okay, so...
Habang hinihintay natin si Becca, basta the general idea for that is, again, we would like to have a situation wherein hindi nababurden masyado yung mga arkitekto. Diba? Okay, so, hindi tayo, I'd like to stress that at the CPD committee, hindi tayo mga villains, hindi tayo yung kontrabida.
Villains talaga.
Hindi eh. Wala pa raw. Mamaya, we'll have Becca in the podcast. Of course, there are moves for the TRO, and we respect those moves, again, as we said earlier. But what we're trying to do in our committee is prepare architects for their compliance. So, yeah, even if the TRO is served, or even if we don't have any CPD law, we will still be doing what we are doing in the CPD committee because we
The service.
yes, and it's ingrained in our UAP bylaws that the UAP and its members um, should have or
Be prepared.
prepare for continuing professional development.
Right.
Yep.
A lot of people have been questioning or whether or not the UAP stands on the right side of things with regards to CPD. And as far as we're concerned, um, the UAP has made or has raised its concerns in the past regarding the CPD. But I wouldn't say unfortunately. I mean, there are different sides to it. But at the moment, there's no. I would say we don't have a choice. But the law is here.
Yeah.
Okay, there's just, I, it can always be repealed. There are always moves that can be done to prevent it from happening or hold it for the moment.
Mhm.
But it's going to be an eventual thing. I mean, eventually, later on, maybe not now. If a temporary restraining order will be successful now, eventually that will be repealed, and eventually the CPD law will still pass.
Yes.
Right. Let's keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that it's not necessarily us who are benefiting from this, or as some people might say, being burdened by it.
Hmm.
Right. It has come to it has become, at least my personal opinion, that
Which I share.
yes, which architect Dumlao shares, that it's not just necessarily for us, although we are indirectly affected by it,
Yeah.
okay? But it is for our clients. It is for the general public. It is for the betterment of the practice in the Philippines. I mean, for one,
And society in general.
and society in general. I mean, let's keep in mind all the other, many other countries in the world, the U.S., Singapore, Australia, all of these countries have their own versions of the CPD,
Hmm.
continuing professional thing. Other professions, I know for a fact that in the Philippines, one standing law that for continuing professional development is with the lawyers, with
Yeah.
the Integrated Bar of the Philippines.
And
I-
for CPAs.
and CPAs, certified public accountants. I mean, naturally, I mean, if you were a client of these people or of a lawyers, wouldn't you feel more secure at the hands of a really competent lawyer with the proper training, with the proper experience, and who's really just updated and
Yeah.
relevant with everything? And I think that's what CPD does. That's what CPD is, and that's the beauty of what CPD will do to us as architects. Now,
We have a question here.
yes,
Excuse me. From Architect Chamson of Bahrain. Is it true that expat architects are exempted for a while for 3 years in the requirement of CPD points? Because there was a news release in one well-known newspaper. She's asking, maybe know the veracity of this, and if so, when it will be implemented. Thank you very much. So we will try to confirm this. We have a meeting we will be in the meeting of the CPD Council, a regular meeting of the CPD Council on Tuesday,
mhm.
and we will try to get their insights of and confirm if this is actually true or not. So, abangan nyo na lang po. We will update you on this. Yung mga OFW members natin. So, Jay Cruz is watching.
Architect J, idol. Si Architect, tama ba? Architect Vanessa, good evening.
Yes, our chairman for membership.
Membership chair, yes.
Yeah,
Architect
membership.
Vanessa Ledesma. Lagman Ledesma. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening.
Architect Hill is reminding us for UAP updates, chapter reports, and the members are encouraged to visit our website www.united-architects.org.
Dash ba o hyphen?
hyphen dash.
United dash or hyphen.
Minus.
United minus architects.
Dot
Ang
org.
pangit.
Sige, hyphen.
Hyphen na lang.
Okay.
Kasi mahirap spell ang hyphen eh.
Dash na lang.
Dash na lang.
United-architects.org. So, we have recently updated this website. May mga information dyan regarding CPD as well. You can download forms and relevant information on your CPD requirements and also the operational guidelines as prescribed and as approved by the PRC and the PR BOA.
What's interesting about the website is it also has archives.
Yes.
Okay, I only started attending the NatCon, the National Convention, in 2013. But prior to that, I never went to any NatCon. And I was looking at the different pictures from NatCon 40, NatCon 39, and it's just interesting to me. I mean, I've been an architect since 2005, and I never really saw what was going on in those times. So it's interesting to see the different things on the website. You can also register and be a member of that. Not be a member, but be registered in the website. I'm not sure what that does, but I think it gives you more access to certain things in the website.
Yes, our membership committee and also the Office of the Secretary General under Rene Aray, they are, I believe, instituting things regarding the website to make it more interactive and more useful to our members. So let's watch out for those updates.
And also, if you have friends who are not yet members of the UAP official forum, we ask you to please invite them in, and so that they may be in the know, they can join the discussions that we have in the forum, and they can simply just even say hi to us or hi to other members.
But remind them that they have to quote their name.
Yes, please be sure that when you join the forum, let's act professionally. And when we say professionally, that means basically how we act with our clients, how we act with our peers.
State your full name.
Not just state your full name, use your name.
Yes.
Okay? Let's not use any nicknames in the forum, to have more conviction with what you say, to have a sense of responsibility when we make statements online.
Yeah.
Or in the forums, that is. All right? Also, a few reminders within the forums. Please be nice. Let's not name call people. Let's not name call. Let's not. Let's have healthy discussions all over. Let's not name call. Let's not insinuate certain things to other members. And of course, I'm talking in general. I'm not attacking any person in the forum. Again, as one of the admins in the forum, I'm not trying to side with anyone there. My job there is to keep the peace, to maintain the peace. All right, we're not trying to censor anyone. We're not trying to delete any messages, but we will delete messages or posts if they are indeed against or doesn't coincide with the rules and regulations of the forum.
Yes.
All right, and I'd like to remind everyone that these rules and regulations were the product of a board resolution during Architect Beth, our immediate past president's time, in sometime around 2016 when the forum was created and when UAP became more active online.
Yeah.
Right. With its the forum right now has about 7,000 members, and it's a good avenue for our members to speak up, to be heard.
Yes. But again, we remind our members that we all want what's best for our profession.
That's right.
Yeah. So we don't need to agitate or insinuate things.
Naturally, some people can get a little bit emotional about
yes,
certain topics, but again, let's maintain professional Conduct, that's right. Yes, sir. Sir Jose? Huh? What question? May bago ba?
UAE. What?
CPD.
Yeah, we answered that already. From Louis.
Romeo.
Oh,
Ang bagal ng internet ko, peak hour kasi sked natin. Okay, good point, Sir Hill.
sige.
Baka, naturally, pagka mga 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, yan din ang pauwi pa rin lang ang mga tao niyan.
Oo nga.
Correct?
Sige, next podcast we will do it
Sige,
1 a.m.
Yeah, let's do it. Siguro safe, mga 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
Okay.
I mean, mangyayari yan when
Diba
they get
kumakain pa yung mga tao?
when they get home, tsaka lang nila makikita yung video na tapos na and hindi natin
They can view this after.
hindi sila makakatanong ng questions live. But if you get to watch this later on, not live,
You can still ask
you
questions.
can still ask questions and we'll
answer.
try to answer them by the following week. Okay?
Ayun, may tanong si Architect Roel. The UAE website has not yet posted the theme for the World Architecture Day. So, sinagot naman siya ni Architect Hill. O nga, wala pa. No WAD theme yet.
No
by
WAD
UAE.
theme
So,
yet.
we will monitor the UIA website and we'll announce it, the theme for the WAD.
Kamusta si Tita Boss Becca? Pwede na ba siya? Okay, we wanted the awards committee to be here simply because it would be a good way to remind everyone with regards to their bids to the awards committee and maybe to give us an update on what the awards committee is doing. Baka sabihin ng mga tao, niluluto yung awards or
No.
kung ano-ano pa. Again, first and foremost, we are architects. We have taken our oaths, and we take our oaths every time we're together.
Yes.
Di ba? Every GMM, every assembly natin, we do that. So something I told my members in Baraswain chapter, we continuously take our oaths. Sumusumpa tayo sa trabaho natin simply because mahirap yung to maintain that sense of professionalism. Di ba? Ang hirap nun. In Baraswain, nagkakaroon kami minsan ng issues with professional conduct, and of course we try to resolve it right away. But my point is, it's lampas na siya ng pagiging something that we just toss around. It's not just a title that we just toss around or a position in life that we just toss around. It becomes us. Di ba? It becomes us. So let that be a gentle reminder for everyone. Okay? Also like to say hi to Architect Leo Gonzalez Calaya.
Member ng Malrep.
And to our member in Baraswain, my fellow UST alumnus, Architect Sara Elizabeth Nieto. Good evening, Madam. Baka may questions kayo dyan.
If you have questions, just write it in.
Ano pa ba?
Going back to RA 9266, no? Merong mga discussions sa forum regarding illegal practice, that we should be concentrating on that rather than focusing on CPD. Of course, our official stand on that is we are considering, or we are taking into consideration all issues affecting UAP ban.
Sino to?
Architect Salvatierra. So we're the UAP is doing everything in terms of addressing all pertinent issues of the profession. So kasi merong lumabas doon sa forum yung isang caricature of an architect. Natin yan, mapapakita natin yan.
Kaya. Subukan natin.
Yes, this caricature of an architect na carrying CPD and illegal unimplemented unimplemented RA 9266. So Nag-comment na rin si NEVP doon. Nag-comment na rin si ED Hill Hapitana. So, makikita ba dyan?
Sige.
Um,
Ayusin ko lang.
Basically, what we're trying to say is, okay, if these are your views, we respect that. As members of the UAP, we are all equally accountable for what's happening within UAP and also within our profession. No? So, regardless of if we have a position nationally or not. No? So, just a shout out for those people that are saying, ano ba ang ginagawa ng mga leaders natin dyan? Ano ba ang ginagawa ng mga ito, etc., etc. So, sana po hindi ganun yung maging opinion natin regarding that, and realize that we should be doing our bit, no? In whatever capacity that is available to us, in terms of protecting and upholding uh, yung profession natin, yung architecture. So, responsibility po natin lahat yun. No? So, let's try to do that. Ayan.
Yan, sir. That's that correct,
Yes,
sir?
so, please, okay lang, basahin natin yung ano ni NEVP Benji.
Meron siyang letter dito. And let's talk about that. Let's see.
Kita ba? Ayan.
So, ayun. Okay. Basahin natin.
Sige, pakibasa.
My architect friends, it would seem unfair to portrait the caricature above. Instead of uplifting the practice, you have opted to present a negative side of it. For once, can't you be optimistic and help alleviate the architects and their law? We are not the only law having difficulties. There are hundreds of laws, such as the I think he was referring to the Anti-Distracted Driving Act, the Anti-Drug Act, the Accessibility Law, and going further, the Pedestrian Law, or even the Anti-Littering Act that are not fully implemented. While we have progressed, and I say it with conviction, last year in more than 9 places in the country, and significantly this year in 5 places, not to include the significant effects in Malolos, Jensan, and Pangasinan areas, it would be better sana if you help positively for the profession. While we are doing our share of promoting the profession, may I kindly ask you the same question. What have you done positively for the upliftment of the profession? Yours truly, NEVP Bench Panganiban. Right.
Yun, so, I think he said it.
He said it best.
Yes. Let's try to be positive. Yes. Of course, our leaders are. We have the right to take our leaders into account, but also let's try to look within ourselves. What have we done?
Ika nga ni Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately?
Ganun eh. So yun, let's try to do that, and again, keeping in mind that lahat tayo architects dito. Wala namang arkitekto na gustuhin pahirapan yung sarili niya, yung kapwa arkitekto niya. Okay, so tulong-tulong lang. No? Again, yung sa mga we are the UAP, lahat po tayo. No? Hindi lang
ilang tao,
hindi lang sila, hindi lang tayo, lahat po tayo ay UAP. So we try to focus on that and try to pitch in wherever we can. No? So yun lang po ang tingin ko. Meron pa ba tayong mga questions?
Again, you are watching the official podcast of the UAP, brought to you by Media and Public Relations Committee. And if you're watching now, request po sana namin, pakishare po kami itong dalawang mukha namin para when I say share, pakishare po itong itong live video para mas makarating pa po sa ibang members natin. Nang maraming makapanood, maraming matanong na questions, baka masagot po namin At kung di namin masagot, hahanap po kami ng sasagot para sa inyo.
Masasagot at masasagot.
Masasagot at masasagot po yan.
Yeah.
Okay? Mas maganda nga lang po pag live to. Mamaya po, kung later on nyo na kami mapanood, hindi na po to live. But if you have questions, just keep them coming and we'll try to answer them within the following show. Okay? This is podcast number 1. Pilot pa lang po ito.
Yes.
Okay? So, meron pa bang
Acknowledge lang natin yung wala nang mga questions mga watching. Ton Marasigan of Malrep, Architect Abam Peña, Sir J na natin. Architect Paulo Alberto.
Anong chapter si Architect Paulo?
I think Cebu.
Cebu ba?
Yeah.
Architect Paulo, baka pwede mong i-announce anong chapter ka
so
and babatiin natin ang
I think he was
chapter.
past district director of C3. Tingnan natin.
Could be wrong.
Yeah. Good job daw. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Paolo Alberto. Andyan na ba si Becca? Our chairman o ayaw nahihiya?
Nasa baba, nagtatago pa rin. Nasa
Okay,
baba.
so I think we can wrap up.
Okay, wrap up.
So
For tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, napag-usapan po natin, kahit pahapyaw lang,
yeah.
RA 9266, paano siya implement, saan na siya na-implement, CPD naturally, okay? Maraming announcements coming from our anong position?
Hilapitana of
That's right.
External Affairs, Governmental and External Affairs Commission.
Mm-hmm. And actually, meron tayong one thing na hindi na pag-usapan.
Ano?
Yung application for CPD session.
Yes.
Okay.
I think you're in the best position to explain that.
Okay, so
Kaka-approve lang ng Berlusconi chapter
yes,
CPD.
Kanina in-announce ko yun a few days ago. Sir Mars of the UAP Secretariat announced that the UAP Council, the CPD Council, has approved our application for a CPD seminar that will be held in Malolos, Bulacan. Okay? And gusto lang po namin gamitin yun as an example on how easy it is. I wouldn't say how easy, but how few steps it takes, okay, para po ma-approve ang CPD Council, ang CPD seminars natin. Naturally, as part of the CPD committee of the special committee on CPD, we are inviting and we are asking, imploring even everyone to please bring the CPD seminars down to the chapter level. Wag po tayong umasa lamang sa CPD providers, lalo na sa private CPD providers, dahil po kadalasan, when we do that, naturally, tumataas po ang presyo.
Yes, because those providers
have income in mind.
Yes.
Okay, income po ang hinahabol nila. Not to say anything bad about them. Of course,
business nila yan.
Business po nila yun. Kapag, syempre, pag tali na po tayo at kailangan na po natin renewal, it wouldn't be bad to go for them as well, although it will be more costly than if it were provided by our UAP chapters. And I, as a chapter president of UAP Baraswain, took that challenge. I took on that challenge to provide CPD seminars for my chapter members and for District A2A. Our seminars will be open to the district, open to UAP. I mean, kahit po galing kayo ng Palawan, kahit galing kayo ng Visayas, Iloilo, kung gusto nyo po attendan ang seminar namin, register lang po and bumiyahe po tayo papuntang Bulacan at
or kung saan kaabutan ng kailangan mo ng CPD.
Oo.
Nasa Malolos ako, pwede pa ba mag-sit?
Actually, di ba yan ang CPD panaginip?
Yeah.
Medyo delayed ka na, may project ka sa taga Iloilo ka, for example, may project ka sa Ilocos, biglang kailangan ko na mag-renew. Anong gagawin ko?
And then Ilocos Vegan chapter.
Meron palang CPD, no?
So,
narinig lang niya, may nagtotok na malayo. Tapos,
kailangan buo.
Siyempre, hindi siya makakount as CPD credits. But anyway, so again, to give you a brief description of how our CPD seminars were approved. Good evening, Architect Joey Manalad. Good evening, sir.
Of
AAA.
Yes.
Ano ba? Chairperson ng
May committee siya under Education Commission.
Okay. So good evening, sir. Again, with regards to apply the application process for CPD, First and foremost, ang kailangan ng chapters natin, if you want to provide the CPD seminar, are speakers. Okay? So, minap out na po namin yung speakers natin that magko-conduct ng seminar for the chapter. And we have to create a syllabus. Medyo yun lang siguro medyo challenging part in a CPD in hosting a CPD seminar is finding a good speaker, creating a syllabus. One of the rules in the PRC is to find a speaker who is credible, who has the credibility to speak in front of people. I mean, bakit nga naman
On
siya
the
on the topic that he's discussing. Okay, so in our case, we found several members of the academe who have been discussing the fire code. We also found an engineer who will be discussing professional scaffolding.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are very interesting things, at least for us when we were doing it. And when we created the syllabus, all we needed to do was simply fill up the application form, pay the 1,100, tama ba sir? Pay the 1,150 peso.
That's per application.
Per application. What's included in the application form, kailangan lang po, meron tayong detailed breakdown of the costs that CPD seminar will entail. Also, a fixed date and a fixed venue for the seminar. Naturally, because if PRC will be monitoring that, dapat hindi pa bago-bago yung date.
Yeah.
Di ba? Dapat alam na nila, specific siya, so that when they send a monitor, alam din naman kung saan na diretso.
Yep.
Na hindi na palipat-lipat. Siguro, I don't know yet, pero I'm sure if the venue needs to be changed, kung marami, actually hindi na mga change because yung number of participants nandun na rin sa application form eh.
Yeah.
You cannot go beyond what you wrote in the application form, so hindi rin kung if you set it to 50, hindi ka pwedeng dumagdag pa. Ililimit ng monitor to
But if you need to adjust it, you will have to make a new application.
Hindi ba pwedeng i-update lang yung application sa PRC?
We'll try to verify how that works. Pero of course, I think we should be given a leeway in terms of adjusting. I think would entail a new application.
Okay.
Let's verify that. No?
We'll verify that. And then from there, we sent it over to Sir Mars of the Secretariat.
Mars Cuevas.
He sent it to the CPD Council.
By email lang?
By email lang.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
How did you pay?
Actually, we paid through Sir Franco. Kasi
Kanina lang?
Yung mga, hindi kanina lang actually. Magkausap na kami ni Sir Mars noon. Kinuha niya, may pondo tayo for the chapter dues na kay Sir Franco. So, doon niya na kinuha.
Okay, good.
Kami, may pondo.
Nagbayad dito. Wala tayong pondo. Officially speaking, wala kaming pondo sa national, but
yung mga nire-remit ng mga members
yes,
na chapter dues na receive ng national.
Nagkaka-balance kami dito. So, okay naman yun. So, nagamit namin yun. And, of course, we used that simply to expedite things.
Yeah.
Okay? Dahil nga taga Bulacan kami, hindi naman kami araw-araw nakakarating sa HQ. So, I'm glad na pumayag si Sir Mars para i-apply kagad. And as of Tuesday, I believe, approved na kami.
When did you submit?
We submitted last Friday.
O yun. So, bilis
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yes, so you see, yung kinote ng CPD Council na lead time, initially, 45 days.
Para lang merong lead time.
May lead time lang, pero they are doing everything that they can para ma-assess lahat ng mga applications na to for in service of the UAP. No? So, again, wag tayong ma-discourage kung sabihin natin, ay, naku, haba pala nahihintay natin. No, because yung mga tao na to sa CPD Council, they are working on it. Actually, yung last in Tuesday when it was approved, no?
Yes.
It was a special meeting of the CPD Council
Why is that?
because they meet regularly second Tuesday. But they
Ah.
met this Tuesday
So swerte lang kami.
kasi ina-adjust nila yung schedule nila based on the load of
Of the
application.
applications.
Yes. So, just keep sending your applications and hopefully it will be approved in time for sa schedule ng mga CPD seminars niya.
Okay, so yun. And
Excuse me, meron lang si Architect Paolo Alberto. Kung gusto lang niya i-plug. Plug ko na rin yung Metro Cebu CDP seminar on August 26. O yan, sa mga taga Cebu. Entitled Promoting Your Small Practice with NEVP Benj. Ito mga speakers si NEVP Benji, Architect Don Guzman, and Architect James Howe as speakers. Okay, so August 26 sa Cebu, hosted by Metro Cebu chapter. Yun.
okay.
So hopefully, yung mga ibang chapters dyan, mag-provide po tayo ng CPD seminars for our members. Para hindi po nagreklamo yung mga members natin na mahal, inaccessible, irrelevant. No? So again, gusto ko na i-point out sa sinasabi mo kanina, Pacoy. One thing that they chapter should do also is to get the consensus of your members.
On what kind of seminars?
What topics do you want to have? No?
Yes.
So para relevant na kagad, no? And then
Actually-
hanap na lang kayo ng speaker on who will be qualified to speak on those topics.
One suggestion that I want to impart to all our chapters is to have a CPD director per chapter.
Yeah.
Okay, you have one CPD director per chapter who will really dedicate himself to providing the CPD. Naturally, lahat naman tayo nagtatrabaho.
Mhm.
So, hindi naman baka yung CPD director, hindi rin niya kaya all the time. So, create a CPD council within your chapter. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
Kaya napabilis kami ng konti because
Minito matrabaho.
metro matrabaho.
Yeah.
Other than myself, we have three or four other members,
Of the committee.
including our CPD director, who are all part of this committee within the chapter, who's working to create the syllabus, the syllabi, to find speakers, to get the credentials from the speakers. Okay, speaking of which, sa credentials naman, baka na-discourage yung potential speakers, nasabihin baka sobrang kailangan ko ng ganyang information, and even yung mga kumukontak sa mga speakers natin, baka nahihiya silang lumapit and kung ano-anong, baka kasi maraming files na kailangan hingin. In our case, hiningi lang namin were the CV of the speaker, several seminars, basically proof kung bakit karapat-dapat siyang maging speaker for that particular topic. And it's not much naman. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be one or two documents. Of course, it will all depend on the CPD Council on whether or
Yeah.
not they will approve it. Gladfully, kami na-approve. I mean, maganda yung syllabus
Yung
namin.
speaker nyo ba is outside, not a member of your chapter?
Isa nga dun, engineer.
Okay, pero yung iba?
Yung isa, member ng chapter namin.
Sino?
Si Architect Arnulfo Chagor.
Ayun, si Architect Jigor is a member of the Baraswain chapter. Yun din yung gusto ko rin i-point out, no? Yung mga chapters yan, lalo na the bigger chapters, more established ones, di ba? Of course, you have members who have already been experts in their fields of expertise. Itap nyo yung mga members nyo, no? To speak. And then,
Yes.
para mas madali nyo ma-provide yung CPD seminars.
No, pinakamadali
Sa mga-
yan,
yeah.
members.
Yeah.
Sariling members.
Kami, magsasubmit din kami sa Malrep BIM naman. No? So we have
Uy, ganda yun.
Yes,
Ganda
we
yun.
have a member who is a BIM manager of her firm, international firm. So kaya
Sama kami doon.
Oh, sige. Oh.
Si Ang-
Si Ane. Oh. So kaya
Talaga?
niya.
Asawa ni Rian?
Yeah.
Ah, galing.
Actually, magkaiba silang software na ginagamit. Magkakaway, yung isa Revit ang ginagamit. Yung isa
Isa SketchUp.
ArchiCAD.
ArchiCAD.
Sabi ko nga,
kaya ang dami nilang ArchiCAD na project na ginagawa.
Yes,
Galing.
so essentially those are BIM di ba, software.
For the life of me,
Ah.
kung ang i-hostage mo yung mga anak ko, paggamit mo sa akin yung para hindi na i-hostage yung mga anak ko, paggamit mo sa akin yung Revit or
Kunin mo
even
na lang
ArchiCAD, sasabihin ko, barin mo na lang. Kasi wala akong kaalam-alam.
Kailangan mo yan.
Magsasayin lang tayo ng oras.
So kailangan mo yun.
Yeah, actually,
diba?
yes.
And it will be
So,
relevant for you.
That would be
Ayaw mo naman mabaril yung anak mo, diba?
That would be a very interesting and life-saving topic for me.
So,
Okay.
CPD saves lives.
Magandang sticker yun Magandang meme.
At least for, in the case of your children.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so ganun lang gawin natin, no? Hindi necessarily pahirap yung CPD eh. And dahil gusto natin padaliin, hindi rin naman siya wala lang, baliwala lang.
Mm-hmm.
It can be easy to provide but still relevant to our members.
Yes.
So, ganun lang naman yun. In the end, nagbe-benefit yung mga members natin, tumataas yung level of understanding nila sa ibang-iba, in a wide range of topics. Of course, when they are already that, they can apply it do sa mga projects nila. Ang makaka-benefit naman doon, yung mga clients natin and society in general. So,
correct. Why not?
Meron bang masama doon? Di ba?
Well, again, there are varying opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to respect everyone's opinions. At kami lang, kaya kami ganito ka-push or ka-positive sa CPD simply because this is the community we belong to. And the stand on UAP on this is, of course, to prepare our members. I mean, kung hindi man gumana, it's to prepare our members. Kung hindi gumana yung TRO, I mean, or some other effort to stop the CPD, kung hindi lahat yung gumana, saan na tayo mapupunta? Lalo na kung kailangan na natin mag-renew. At least, handa tayo, walang masama sa handa. Di ba?
Yeah. May comment dito from Architect Jazz. Kakapasok lang.
Architect
Richard Franco of
pakita ka dito, bro.
CBD.
DVD.
CBD chapter.
Tulo mo.
Yan.
Alright.
Hello, Chart. Yun, ang comment ni Architect Jazz. CBD provided by foreign organizations similar to UAP like PAM of Kuala Lumpur and SIA of Singapore. Sana yung mga ganun seminars automatic na recognized na. Perhaps UAP PRC can establish a memorandum of understanding. So, sige, that's a good suggestion. We'll try to push that sa CPD Council para maging part siya of formal track. No? Basta provided by the accredited architectural organization of the country where you are in, baka pwede nating pa-accredit din automatically.
Correct.
With a MOA.
Ano yan?
Or a MOU.
And for everyone's information, with regards to the CPD committee, the special committee on CPD by the which Architect Dumlao chairs, we are working to we're finding ways to make CPD easier, which includes possible webinars. Okay, so kanina lang pinag-uusapan namin what kind of environment a webinar would be. Naturally, a webinar is a seminar online.
Yes.
Maybe live, maybe recorded. The difficult part of having a webinar is one of the rules in the CPD law, which is monitoring.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're also looking at the possibilities. We're definitely looking at the possibilities and what can be done
And
to
again,
make it easier.
yes, as part of our functions in the committee, we hope to pioneer yung online CPDs na yan, mga webinars. But if there are chapters out there who are also willing to go into online CPDs, by all means, unahan nyo na kami.
Oo.
Diba?
Unahan nyo na
Like
kami.
CBD chapter, kayang-kaya ng CBD chapter.
Oo.
Diba?
Mga tema cuts boys and girls yan.
Yes.
Diba? So, kayang-kaya nila yan. Of course, if you have recommendations on how it can be easier for everyone, the CPD committee is always open.
Yeah,
Okay?
for your suggestions. Architect Hill Kapitana, is reminding us also that the UAP Execom headed by NP Guillermo Sancia gave clear instructions that all CPDs must charge very minimal fee, if not totally free. So if you can provide CPD free to
Why
your
not?
as a service to your members, why not?
Actually, the goal for Barasuen, in our chapter, for example, naturally, at the beginning of the fiscal year, mag-charge kami for the CPD seminars. Baka iba yung non-members, iba yung charge ng members. And meron
Tapos
kaming
baka may
konting
savings,
allowance. May konting kaming allowance kasi naturally, kung hindi mo ma-hit yung target number mo, kawawa naman yung chapter.
Yeah.
Kasi chapter magbabayad ng lahat ng yun. So, if towards the end of the fiscal year, may savings kami,
Mhm.
I would not mind giving out the CPD seminar for free. Okay? For our members,
Kasi
for our district mates,
Yung
di ba?
funds na yun sa members nyo rin naman.
Sa
Diba?
members yun.
So,
hindi
sila rin
naman
naman
sa
dapat
amin lang yun eh. Hindi
mag-benefit.
sa president lang yun.
Yes, yes.
Okay? So,
Anyway, yun lang. Si Jenny, Miss Jenny, watching.
nandito lang siya eh.
Oo nga. Thank
Kanina
you
ka pa nandyan eh.
for accommodating us here in the NP's office.
Okay?
Wala na. Wala na pala.
Wala na ba si Miss
Kala ko,
Yanni dyan? Kala ko nandyan pa rin siya.
Anyway,
It's 8:30,
Oo
ladies
nga.
and gentlemen. I think we've
Oo
talked
nga. Gutom na ako.
for an hour and a half already.
sobra na yan.
Sana po next week, we're targeting Thursday. I-announce po namin sa
Si Becca, ayaw na
forum.
magsalita eh.
I-announce namin sa forum. Next week, we'll be having another podcast. Sana po, abangan nyo kami. We'll announce the time. I think magiging
Magbabay tayo.
magiging mga 9 p.m. kami next time or 8 p.m.
Ano ba ito ba?
Ito sa kanan.
Ayan.
Hey, so
Ayan.
we are your official UAP podcast. This is your official UAP podcast brought to you by the Media Public Relations Committee, headed by yours truly. I am the chair of the MPR, architect Pacoy Aniag. My co-host, CPD Special Committee on CPD Chair, Architect Albert Dumlao. Our member,
And also chairman of,
Architects Working Abroad.
yes,
Hi.
Richard Franco.
okay. Our tech guy and all around badass. Kaya, pakita ka dito. Ito, all around badass namin. Tignan nyo naman, tulisan na tulisan ng dating.
Di ka kita.
Dito ka sa likod. Si Architect Jose De Leon ng Barasuen Chapter.
And dito, may kasama rin tayo.
And meron kaming kasamang
aspirant to the profession.
isa pang tulisan.
Pakita mo. Yan.
Ang hari na ang mayor ng UAP
Pangalan mo?
Ayan.
Ayan.
Okay, mayor ng UAP sa
Sige,
Bulacan. Architect, hindi pa architect. Ryan Gamwa, Mr. Ryan
Future.
Gamwa. Future architect and